Even though I like hanging out with my caving community, my caving family, I do really value the time I spend in the hills by myself going caving. It's not the thrill of doing something by myself. I'm not doing this to prove anything. It's just an opportunity to get away from our busy world for a while and, stick my head in a hole in the ground and pretend all the world's ills just don't exist for a bit. I find it's really good for the mind, body, and the soul. My latest project is up on Takaka Hill. Jim and Terry from Hidden Valley Farms have kindly let me have free run of their property, and the discoveries are coming. So yesterday I was in Aotearoa, which is 50 miles from here, completely different karst area, and today I'm kind of in the Middle Earth kind of catchment in an area that cavers haven't been into for a long time. This is in the Perseverance area. Perseverance Cave is just down here a little bit. It's about 3 or 4 kilometres long, and all that water drains into Middle Earth, which is out that way. The last time I was here is 1985. Place looks very different to what it was back in 1985. Yeah. So I'm just going to go for a bit of a wander. Basically just a prospecting trip, so just about a bit of a wander through these gullies here and see if we can find anything that's worth coming back to with a bit more gear. It's kind of cool being here after all this time. It's really cool to be back. Really cool. It's a gorgeous area. Very unlikely that any of these go, but it's certainly worth a wander in the woods, that's for sure. It's a good excuse to get out and get a bit of check that out. Bit unexpected. Well, I say, it's not often these things go, and I'll be very surprised if this does, because they just don't. Anyway, it's definitely worth a bit of a gander, that's for sure. Maybe. Well, not a bad first try. This goes down, I know, probably 20, maybe 30 metres down to a boulder choke. Got to a point where the rock's a little bit loose for me to carry on by myself. It's some good dig, a really good dig down there, and the air, heaps of air going into the hill. So that's number one. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Here's another one. Down through the scrub here. Just over here. Another big entrance feature. Yeah. This looks even bigger than the last one. That's looking pretty good. Quite impressive. Okay. As normal, these will probably end up just joking. Big question is, what happens beyond here? So the cave does keep going beyond that choke. It does require some digging, there's no draft like in the last one. Last one had a really good draft. This one doesn't, so not being too hopeful about this. Yeah, with a bit of help, maybe a crowbar, get through that choke. Just a little bit concerned about this great big huge rock here, this fella. To be very careful to find out, to make sure that's been held up by lots of stuff, otherwise if that falls, it's going to really hurt. Such is the nature of rock chokes. So, onwards and outwards. Here's another one. Another big deep depression full of trees, this one. Yeah, well, I'll just pop down here. See if you go and check this one out. Might just pop down here, I think. Maybe just another pile of rocks, I think. It's amazing, some of these spaces are actually really, really big, but they all just choke. Oh, it must be some sort of fault line that they're choking on. Right, I'm just going to check out down here. Yeah, it's possible to get down here, but I'm not going to do it by myself. The rock's a bit loose and kind of collapsy. It just seems to be that everything is kind of coming up against a fault. Everything's just kind of coming up against this fault line and choking, which is a real shame, because these passages are really big. It would be nice to find a way through this fault, because I think we might end up finding quite a substantial piece of cave if I do. I suppose the question I ask myself is, where does all this water go? The most likely scenario is that it runs along the fault for a kilometre or so and then goes into Perseverance. There's an upstream sump in Perseverance and it may well go there. However, other side of the ridge here is a cave called Goose Gully Cave, which is stream sink, and there's a sump at the bottom, and Mike Doreen dived that and apparently it's too tight. But the question is, where does that water go? Middle Earth is quite some distance from here, and so is Sawmill Sinks, and any known cave is quite a long way away. So I suppose in a way it's worth just persevering with all this stuff and seeing what happens. Yeah, we'll just go for a bush bash up through here and back out into the farmland, and keep walking kind of south. And another one. I'm sure this will end up choking just down there as well. So this one's been a bit of a surprise. I'm come down about probably 50 metres down through this choke, and just got to a climb which I'm not that happy about going down, so I have to come back to this. Kind of hope I can find my way out, but anyway. There's the climb there. Down there, it's not very, probably doesn't look that imposing actually on a video, but nah, I'll leave that for another day, I think. Yeah. And see if I can find my way out of here. These big holes are really exciting. Some big chambers, and some of them are quite well decorated. Unfortunately, they choked not far from the entrance. The best one though was about 15 minutes walk down to the bush from the car at the end of quite a deep sort of dry valley. It's a bit colder up here today. Heading down to the bush here, follow this fence down, hopefully pick up an animal trail that goes to the bush for a little bit, follow the animal trail, and down to this hole that I found on Saturday. Not like I hope, but it's worth going to have a look at just in case. As I abseiled in, I didn't have much hope for it, but the cave gave me a real surprise. But yeah, this is interesting. Oh no, it's going to choke. Classic though, you get these big old passages with formation in them. Got some really close to the surface, lots of formation. And they just had to stop. That's generally how things roll. Yeah, so it's still going down. That's quite surprising. There's no draft, so I'm expecting this to stop very soon. But it's quite specky, very nice flows, beautiful kind of passages. Quite big, still quite big. Now up there's a lead up there, and we're going to keep going down this way. That's really nice. Okay, I'll stop just there, definitely. Not really unexpected. Yeah, that's pretty typical stuff that's really big, probably quite old, full of flowstone and just chokes. Yeah, it's like a little drop, but the flowstone basically stops the passage. But it is quite a good leaf up in the roof here. It'll be worth having a little cruise of that. You see that big hole up there in the roof? So where those big stalls are? It's a big black space up there. Definitely worth coming back to that one, definitely. I'm going to get out now. The way on lies about 10 metres up the wall, and I'm going in shortly to do the climb. So we'll both have to wait until part 2 of the story, and hopefully we'll see you then.